YouTube and Twitch, we'll see in a moment. Here's YouTube, which I'll just take as a given, the way that thing usually goes. Hey, let's chill here for a couple minutes. We get ready. I was running into some technical difficulties earlier, so haven't really had much time to prepare here for the stream, but I wanted to be on time at the very least. What if this worked properly? Let me see if this worked. Hope my computer doesn't crash whenever I try to change Windows. It's giving me some issues lately. It's here on YouTube. Go live. Okay. That seems to work. Now, for anyone who is interested, while watching, if you're watching this on YouTube and possibly on Twitch as well, I don't know if Twitch has video descriptions, but if you check out in the description below, there are links to all the other sites that hey Han, how you doing? Yeah, if you check the descriptions in YouTube and possibly on Twitch, there's the link to my Ko-fi account if anyone wants to drop a donation my way. That's currently the one way to do it. Maybe if this grows bigger in the future, I'll up a Patreon or something. Anyway, going with some warm-ups. That's a beat. There. Yep. Okay. Well, today's comic page is going to be involving a lot of faces. It's going to be a continuation from the page from last stream, so let's warm up with the basic faces. Yeah. Swing. Hey Max, how you doing? Just gonna warm up with some faces. Maggie, since you're watching on Twitch, maybe you can tell me, does Twitch have video description? Thank you. I've linked a whole bunch of things in the video description, and I know that'll show on YouTube. I don't know if it'll show on Twitch. So if you can call me. No, all good, no rush. Just curious. I could probably just log on to Twitch myself and have a look, but I'm too lazy. Also, like I said earlier, my computer has been so slow to act. I think there's a big update coming and slowed everything right down. not happy with me earlier. But at least it seems to have gotten itself together enough for streaming. That's fine. Bye, Caitlin, and we'll see you. Bye. Don't work too hard. Love you. I thought I had set the category. Weird. Maybe I should double check that. Change that up a little bit. I've sworn I set category on Twitch to creative. I'll go over here. But the main thing that I'm concerned about is there some kind of video description like below the video at all? Because I know I'm getting a video description on 2 of the places that I'm sending the stream out of the 5, and I don't know which ones they are. I know one is YouTube, but I don't know what the other one is. If I can update the category quickly. Thing decides to load anytime soon. And no, no, stream preview, no. Where would I streaming? Streaming tools. Nope, not there. Preferences, maybe? File settings. Strength, drops. Is that a Conti? Huh? Okay, I'm not sure where to set my stream category. Yeah, I'll really admit I've not set up a lot on Twitch. Haven't really given it a lot of thought. YouTube was, when I started this whole thing, YouTube was meant to be my primary audience. That's okay. Maybe next time. As you can tell by the music, this is just going to be a chill stream. Worry too much about that. Oh well, like I say, maybe next time I'll have some proper stuff set up for Twitch. And like I said, I'm on several platforms as well. Some people seem to be people seem to watch on Facebook. A lot of the people I know watch it on Facebook. They show up at all. That's fine. Probably going to be rather quiet on today's stream. Like I said, had a bit of a frustrating day with my computer earlier, and it's been a long week. We're just taking it chill today. Hence why with Britzel I've got the chill station going. Probably going to be some lo-fi beats and things. Keeping it simple and relaxed. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know which because starting on a new platform is always tricky. So I guess if I stream on multiple platforms at the same time, and I see which one gets me a higher viewership, then I can potentially focus in on that one. I don't think I've got enough of an audience anywhere yet to subscribe to any single one. So this is sort of like casting the net as wide as possible. Hi, Mom. If I know I've got a decent amount of subscribers on YouTube. However many of them watch this, I don't know, but because the videos automatically get stored there and they stay there, unlike with Twitch. YouTube doesn't delete live streams, as far as I know. I advertise my streams on Twitter mostly. Mostly on Twitter and Facebook, obviously. Don't have enough YouTube subscribers yet to do community posts, otherwise I would post there more. Well, I've had a few commissions come through Twitter, so I stick with it. Okay, no problem, Mom. Talk to you later. Oh yeah. Twitter was where I got most of my commissions from, and I don't know, it seems to have like the widest reach. If you're not on Twitter, stay off it. It is a hellish site. Oh, I should probably also advertise a bit on Reddit a little more. I'm sure there's like an art stream Reddit somewhere. I can post my links on. Basically, I'm trying to be on any and all social media as much as possible. I would also be streaming on Instagram if I could, but unfortunately, Restream does not, multi-streaming platform does not allow for, yeah, it is, but yeah, Restream does not allow for Instagram streaming. There is a way to set it up, like it through a third-party kind of thing, but you have to have the paid version of Restream for that. So until I actually have any fair change on me, I'm not gonna put up $20 a month just for that. Yeah, that's also why I haven't quite filled in all my details on Twitch as well. It seems like a lot, especially when I'm just starting out, when I'm still experimenting, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. We're just about to warm up. I have one more face I want to draw, and one's for a friend of mine. It's not online at the moment, but if he's watching this after the fact, which I hope he is, he's one of the 4 people I have following me on Twitch. So, yeah, I did do research on other streams. I actually contemplated for the longest time whether or not I should have a face cam for an art stream, but I have seen other artists that do it, so I figured why not. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do one more face, very specific one, for my friend OmniDragon. I know you're out there, Professor. I don't know if you're watching this right now, but get the reference. There you are. So, what do you think? I think I've come a long way from grade 7. Yeah, we are old, dude. We're in our 30s now. We're totally old. Still wonder what I did with those books where I stuck the comic strips that I did in. Because man, was I obsessed with Spyro at the time. There you go. With a nice reference back to those days at Morris. Maybe next time I'll do it with reference and it'll be even better. Let's move on from warm-ups and we'll get into next comic page. Continuing on after one from the other day. Set up some panels. That's my tape. I actually got remakes for Christmas last year. On the PS4, my girlfriend Caitlin got it for me, and I got it as an early Christmas present, but it was like a couple of weeks before Christmas, and I powered through it before Christmas even rolled around. I was having so much fun with it. It was pure muscle memory. Yeah, grade 7, the days of talking about pain rats and drawing silly Spyro comics and quoting Blackadder constantly. My last few fun memories before high school happened. Oh, Bomberman. I never owned Bomberman. My friend Justin had it, so I played it a couple of times when I went to his place. That thing stressed me out. I could not handle Bomberman. I was never one for adrenaline-packed games. Okay, hang on. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back. Like I said, my computer's been bugging out quite a bit today. I think there's probably some big Windows update or something coming, and it's like overloading my cache. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Fingers crossed. It's great. Yes, I do. Yeah, because I figured that because the last time my computer did something like this, it was because of a huge Windows update, so I had my suspicions. I don't know, actually, about that. If multiple streams have picked performance, there doesn't seem to be any significant difference, as far as I can tell. Because what I'm technically doing, as I understand it, is I'm streaming to a single place, which is the Restream server, and then it splits it up from there. So it's not like I'm simultaneously trying to stream to 5 different places from my own hardware. I don't know, that might be a thing, but I honestly couldn't tell you with any certainty. Indeed. Probably, because I don't have fiber, and I mean South African internet has never been particularly good compared to international stuff, so it could very well just be an ISP issue as well. But it's always easier to blame Microsoft, as they are responsible for all the evils in the world. Okay. Really? When I tried to, but the first time I tried to do Twitch was back in when I was still living in town. We had a setup there that I think had an even worse line than what I've got now, and yeah, that just went absolutely nowhere. And that was a couple of years ago. If you can hear that, excuse me a second. I'm gonna catch a glimpse of my dirty room here, possibly. One second. Indeed. Nah, if there's one thing I can complain about where I live, we've got a plumbing issue in the bathroom sink bubbles every now and then, so just gotta go like run a bit of water and it reverses the flow. But yeah, anyway, like I said, when we were living in town, I tried to do some streaming then, and I had absolutely nothing going for me there. The quality was terrible. I could stream at all. But I gave it much effort. Still, yeah, not good. So, relatively speaking, I'm in a pretty good spot for streaming right now. And I've got no idea what I'm eating tonight. Maybe I'll warm up the last bit of mac and cheese. What I've been eating for the last 3 days. I am lazy when it. That's pretty much the motion of how food works in my house too. Like we'll cook for 1 or 2 nights a week, and the rest of the night is either leftovers or takeaways. Usually takeaways that we didn't pay for, like someone else bought it and we've got their leftovers. Sometimes you just really have a craving for junk food. Like you don't necessarily want to buy McDonald's, but you're driving home, the drive-thru's right there, you don't feel like cooking, it's just like, ugh, so much simpler. I had KFC last night, actually. Well, I had the mac and cheese, and then Glenn brought home over KFC. I had a wing. My version of sit here is looking like a cross between, I don't know, a bit like Cerberus the Aardvark. Halfway between Glenndorf and Cerberus the Aardvark. About right. Tell you what, man, the stream. I think we're just gonna have to get used to the stream dropping every few minutes. Okay, well that's fine. Okay, answer your question. Set in terms of a character, probably not initially. I mean, he's sort of like the villain that's going to off the main. He's like the main cause for this one particular hero's grief for the most part. Because the whole reason that the particular hero exists, because Isis the heroine, not the goddess. The whole reason Isis as a character exists is because her family has inherited this power that is passed onto mortals, dedicated to stopping Set or the chaos that he seeded into the world before he was imprisoned. So he is arguably like overarching villain, but because he's sort of locked away, he's more of like a Sauron-esque figure towards her. He's locked away somewhere. He's lost much of his old power. There is always a chance further down the line he could show up. It's mostly going to be dealing with the fallout from the seeds of his chaos growing again. That's going to be taking place in the comic itself. Okay. I'm gonna try and keep some of these ropes around him consistent. I've got the last page here as reference. Updated his muscles a little bit. Was rather lazy about this. I can fix it in inking. Just got to keep the ropes around him consistent now. Thank you. I'm glad you think that sounds cool. I'm sort of not tying myself down to any one particular genre of superhero. I want to have some variety, like the big doo as well. So we're gonna have magic-based heroes. We're gonna have tech-based heroes. There'll be a bit of everything for everyone. But Isis is primarily going to be the Wonder Woman style character for us. Then the teenage Wonder Woman, the Wonder Girl, technically. Not going to be a lot of adult heroes left. I say left, there's a reason for that. It's not going to be too many adult heroes in my series, because, I mean, if there were adult heroes, I don't want to, like... that's one way to look at it. Will certainly be other mythological influences. The only one that's sort of expressly outlined in terms of civilization at the moment is the Egyptian one. But you never know, might be some other things in there inspired by other mythologies. But there's going to be all sorts of things happening. So, like if you recall the designs from last time, from the first stream, happen here. Anyway, if you look in the old streams, Kinetica and Splits as my other two main characters for now, they both sort of tech-based heroes. I'm still sort of trying to beat out. Oh, come on, Dream. Go back. Okay, but yeah, Kinetica, I still haven't quite decided how she's got her powers, whether they're innate, like she's mutant or something, or she got them in like an accident like Spider-Man did. But she's sort of more of a tech-based hero, and Splits, he's a teleporter, and his gizmo that lets him teleport is actually from the future. He doesn't know that. He just thought he found a cool piece of technology and improved upon it, but it is from the future. So there's going to be time travel. Although I'm not... One thing that I want to sort of explicitly avoid for the most part is alternate universes. So I don't want something like Spider-Verse. Don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Verse. I think it's a freaking awesome idea. Any kind of, because it's become such a prominent thing now, any kind of multiverse I try to create would just be compared to Spider-Verse, and I don't think I can pull it off just as well as Marvel did it. And then with DC, you had Crisis on Infinite Earths, and you had Final Crisis, and all those other things. So it's just alternate universes are too much. Like other planes of existence, fine. I'll accept other planes of existence. So go to hell or some kind of or the Shadow Realm or whatever, legally defined parallel planes of existence. But actual alternate dimensions, like parallel universe things with alternate versions of the characters, like I'm gonna try and stay away from that. I mean, if I do that, if I do any kind of alternate universe tale, it's gonna stay in the alternate universe. Alternate universe will never cross over with the mainstream one. Of course, this is all far in the future planning. This is not like something I'm gonna spring on the readers straight away. Most complicated thing that will happen in the early going will be the time travel, and even then it's more going to be for reference sake rather than an actual time traveling storyline. That's what I was missing. I was looking at this face and I knew I was missing something. It was the nose. It was the book-like nose. Made it too much pig-like, but we get the lip split and more of a defined shape to the nose. Here we go. Let's look at it. Yes, I actually do lots of storyboards. I've actually got some here. Like for this page in particular. And the one before it, I did some sketching out. So it's like the placement of the 4 in the previous one. This was more to get the angle right. It was sort of to find what his face looked like, and it's come out pretty well. And over here, full confession, I haven't got the full storyboard for this particular story out yet. I'm still defining what's going to happen. I've got the first 3 pages, so I know what I'm doing there, but I do have much of Splitz's first story out. Like, it's the first 8 pages there. Very rough, very simple, just so I get a feel for what the action is. And when it comes to scripting, I'm very much do it the Marvel method. So I don't have any exact dialogue in mind when I'm storyboarding. I have the story beats in my head, and I put them out as pages. I'll only actually finalize the dialogue after the stuff is drawn. It makes it, if I'm writing it in the moment, it makes it feel more natural. So I'll have a rough idea of what they're saying. Like in this page in particular, Set is talking about his plan. I mean, the other gods already know it. He's not monologuing for the sake of it being a villain. He's talking about his plan, and it's going to sort of focus on each of the other 4 gods as he's talking, and he's going to name them in turn because he's taunting them. And a close-up on his face at the bottom. I don't know exactly what he's saying, other than the fact that he's naming the other 4. But basically, we're going to get the outline of his plan on this page, and I'll figure out exactly what he's saying when I get to that. So after I've done all the inking and the coloring in that. Because I've often found if I start writing dialogue out in long form, I actually get bored of it very quickly. It actually happened with a lot of my projects, is if I plot everything out straight away, if I have everything fully defined, I immediately get bored with it, because it's like, okay, plotted this whole thing out, and I know what's happening. Why do I have to do any more? Like, so typically lazy of me. Like, because I know exactly what's happening, I sort of lose any sense of wonder about the whole thing. But if I do it this way, with not everything quite 100% worked out, and there's still an air of mystery, and I can still be surprised by it. Like, I had a webcomic running a few years back. Maybe I'll get back to it someday. I did quite enjoy it. I remember there were several occasions, because I did it twice a week. I would upload Mondays and Thursdays. And there were several occasions where I would be drawing a page like right down to the deadline, because I changed my mind about where it would go. Oh, are we frozen again? Hang on. We're back. Yes, there has definitely got to be a balance of dialogue in a comic. That's why you'll notice it's something I've had to learn quite a bit. It's taken quite a bit of practice. You'll notice, like, I've left a lot of area around Set's head and plenty of space below him, even if it'll cover up some of his torso, is so it can fit more dialogue in there. In the old days, and when I was first doing comics, I would leave like nowhere near enough space for dialogue, and it would be very cramped and feel very unnatural. But I like to think I've improved since then. But also conversely, am I freezing again? Oh, honestly can't tell with this thing right now. Okay. Also conversely, you don't want little dialogue in a comic either, especially one that's story-based. I know there are some writers that are absolutely amazing, and they can turn a script into an artist, and the artist will be able to draw an entire story that has zero dialogue, and they will still be able to do a compelling read. For something as story-based as this, got to make sure I include enough. Yep, back. Like you said, finding the balance is tough, because if something is incredibly story-based, you'll want enough dialogue in it to be able to express exactly what you're trying to say. Like, if I release this comic with zero dialogue, I'm pretty sure about 95% of people wouldn't know what I'm saying with it at all. And if I've practiced enough to do a completely silent comic, I'm a sucker for thought balloons. Like, if a character doesn't have an inner monologue, then they better be speaking out loud the entire time. And not that it's a bad thing. I mean, one of the most popular characters in comics, Wolverine, his inner monologue never shuts up. Constantly talking to himself. on the outside, he's all grim and stoic and heroic, and then his inner thoughts never shut the hell up. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Alright, zooming in a bit. There we go. Better view. I've also always enjoyed like any kind of mythology. I mean, you remember I was obsessed with Greek and Roman back in high school and primary school, but Egypt was also never far from my mind. And like I said in my last stream, I think I've been swinging Norse mythology a lot more lately, but mostly because of culture osmosis, with like the Thor movies and God of War and all that stuff. I've sort of been leaning more Norse, but I've always enjoyed the Egyptians as well. There's something just so like primal and weird about them, like with the animal imagery and strange family line and all that stuff. It's something weirdly compelling about them. And I think what makes Set so weird, like as a god of chaos, especially, is because no one could identify what kind of animal he was. Like they just called it Set animal because they actually they couldn't translate or identify what kind of animal head he had. So it was just this weird nebulous thing. Norse characters? I don't know. Maybe. I think it's a bit tricky because everyone is so into Norse mythology now because of the Thor movies. Everyone's sort of got their eye on Norse a bit more, so I wouldn't want to presume anything about that. Although, if you want to see some of the stuff that I've done is rather Norse style. If you go over to my YouTube channel, I have done a playthrough of a game called Ironsworn, which is a solo RPG It's like Dungeons and Dragons. You play it by yourself. Like, you don't need other people to play with. And the setting for it is very much Viking Norse style setting. It's like hinterlands and coastlines and all that kind of thing. And I had a character who was basically like an axe maiden, I think. It turned out pretty well, if I do say so myself. I played it for like 6 full sessions. I had a whole storyline out of it, and it worked really, really well. I hope you enjoyed. The episodes are quite long because I think they're like 2 hours each, and I played 6 of them. Like, if you need something on in the background and you can put up with my voice for that long, a while. And I also highly recommend playing the game if you ever get a few hours to yourself, if you ever want to try it. Lots of fun. I would think I actually wanted to play more of it during lockdown, but I was just not in a great headspace during the whole quarantine thing. Michaela. Oh no, awesome, go for it. No problem. Congrats to your friend. Have a good one. Yeah, I was not in a great headspace during lockdown. I was like really, really depressed. I was in a bad living situation, so I could not muster the energy to play it. So but because I actually started playing just before the lockdown happened, and would have continued on otherwise, but I was just, like I said, not in a good frame of mind. But I carried on like months later, and that's actually where I got some of my initial YouTube subscribers. Like, the majority of them, it was so weird because I uploaded the first videos, like the first session that I played for the lockdown. Then I didn't really look at my YouTube channel again for months, and then in September I sort of, out of curiosity, glanced at it, and I'd suddenly gotten like another 30 or 40 subscribers, and were sporadic views on the videos as well. And I thought, and some people had left comments and they were asking for more, and I was like, oh, okay, people seem to like it, so I guess I'll carry on. By that time, I was out of that living situation. We'd moved in here. We were back at work, so I was earning some money. I was in a much better headspace and feeling a lot more creative. So I got back to it, and I sort of like finished up the first arc of the character's story, and I had a great time with it. Because the cool thing about that game is that because it's dice-based, it's sort of like improv storytelling guided by dice. I mean that's any kind of role-playing game. Because you don't have a game master, you're literally using like tables of random stuff to generate what's going on and sort of interpret the fiction from that. And like I mentioned earlier, I would like writing a story with an ending in mind, because as soon as I know what's happening, I begin to lose interest. So I was playing the perfect game because I was creating a story on the fly, and the dice were guiding me as to where to go. And it was brilliant. It was so much fun. I can now have, if I continue with it, I have a vague idea of where I want to take the character, whether or not the dice will let me go that way, or if they'll take me in that direction, or, to that destination in the direction I'm thinking, I don't know. But it's the uncertainty of the whole thing that really drew me to it. And I even did some, and for each video I actually did like a portrait of the character, and you can sort of see her getting progressively more down as she continues. And then I did a speed paint on a previous stream. Did a couple of other streams where I did a landscape picture of the character Ara with that on stream, and then convert it into a speed paint. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, the speed paint is there. That was a lot of fun. The outlet for some creative energy. And I'll probably go back to it. I want to keep playing it because I had a blast with it, and I want to do some other solo RPGs as well. Like there's one I found called 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, where basically, as the title suggests, you take on the role of a 1,000-year-old vampire, and you sort of have like a memory log, like a journal of your experiences through the ages, but you forget things as you go along, so you end up like removing parts of your journal and replacing it with new memories until you forget who you were before, and whether or not you like meet a noble demise or not. All depends on, again, it's dice roll. It's random prompts that you get through dice roll. That makes for some cool storytelling. I'm just rambling on here, so feel free to cut in at any time. Otherwise, it's just me blabbing on. Awesome. I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, so if you want any more of my content tomorrow, would be the greatest time to check it out, because we've got some other stuff to do tomorrow. Although, hey, you never know, I might stream. But I'm more likely to stream on Sunday. Oh, I'm not watching it, I'm just listening to it in the background, I swear. Because I've actually been meaning to ask, because you've got your whole PhD thing, like, what are you doing with that at the moment? Because your Facebook is mysteriously blank for the most part. So yeah, I'm actually not sure. What do you do with a PhD in statistics? Am I going to stream for much longer? How long? I've only been going for an hour. I'll probably be here for at least another hour, maybe even 2. Because, yeah, I'm going to keep going until I'm done with this page. I might even start inking it on stream. It's actually going a lot quicker so far than I thought it would. Famous last words. Oh, okay, I see. That's interesting. Naturally, I mean, yeah, flip that. Obviously not the sort of thing you want to advertise too much on social media. But still, that's like no no sarcasm intended at all. That sounds genuinely fascinating. It's often weird how a lot of jobs you sort of stumble into, like you never expect it, like with any kind of thing that you do. You wouldn't. It's not what you intended to do, but you just sort of end up in the middle of it without getting it to. Like I almost very nearly got into Java programming. Yep, see, video games pay off in the end. Like I very nearly got into Java programming last year, more out of sheer desperation than anything else, because I wasn't finding anything. I wasn't finding any work, so I desperately needed something. So I tried taking a Java programming course. It did not work out. Needless to say, it did not work out, and that put me in a very bad frame of mind at that point in my life as well. Sort of contributed to where I went after that. But yeah, not have called that in the slightest. And now I'm doing desktop publishing as a day job. And for this, I had no idea what desktop publishing even was. It's basically graphic design, but simpler. And I had never considered myself going into graphic design. I wanted to be an animator, I wanted to be an illustrator. It just wasn't figuring graphic design. Enjoyable is a strong word. put it that way. It is not particularly complicated. I mean, sometimes we've got to like work around things that are not set up properly, or we have to improvise when it comes to certain things. But for the most part, it is not terribly complicated. So, with regards to that, it means it's not always particularly frustrating either. I mean, yes, you get your bad days and your stupid clients occasionally, but for the most part, it's not a particularly difficult job, and it's not too taxing on my creativity either. Come on, stream. Come on, what are we missing? There we go, we're back. I think we're back. Are we back? I'm back. Okay, I don't know how much dropped off there. Okay, now we're back. At least I think we are. This thing really can't seem to make up its mind. Not responding. Why are you not responding? Oh, come on. Hello? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay. Okay, I think we might be back. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I don't know how much of my response got cut off, but work. It's not that it's not enjoyable. It's like I say, enjoyable is a very strong word. It's easy for the most part. It's not complicated, and it's not too taxing on my creativity either. So it's something I know how to do, something I can get done without using too much of my brain power most of the time. So it's still get me some income while using my skills and still leaving me with enough energy on some days to come home and do stuff like this. I can still do my possible. That's yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Describing the stream, that's a good descriptor for this stream and for my job. It's possible. But hopefully in the future, both will improve. I might move on to a better job once there's less of a panic about COVID and I'm able to shop around a bit more. At the very least, it would be nice to get up to full salary again, because we've been reduced salary and reduced hours. But I'm still getting enough that I can survive. And combined with Caitlin's income, together we manage, and that's all right.
No one knows. The new generation now can steal everything from the older generation and pretend like it's theirs. Ooh, it's kind of is it? Obviously, chords and melodies. There's only so many different things you can do. Yeah, subtle, like a sneaky thief in the night.
You never know. One day,
And also be respectful.
maybe I'll live the dream.
Make a little note.
I'll be able to
Thank you very much.
make my own artwork for a living. That's always been the dream job. To be beholden to no one else but myself. Create what I like. And be able to live off of it.
If you listen enough, you start to pick up on the enormous amount of repetitive.
Yeah, it's very true. I was, like, before lockdown happened, not in a great spot.
Within the same artist.
I've been living with Caitlin and her folks in their house for about 6 months, which was interesting. We'll leave it at that. And fortunately, Maggie, color tape here in the stream, she actually got me my job at this company where she works at, and I got that job 3 weeks before the initial lockdown hit. So just when we were starting to make plans, like, okay, work for 3 months, save up some stuff, put down a deposit, we could move out, and all of a sudden, global pandemic. Who could have called that? So that was something. I was still stuck there for a little bit longer. Trying to smudge here. We were stuck there for a little bit longer. But once businesses started opening up again, and I was able to start getting a little bit of income back in, we were finally able to move out. And so now we are in good space. Our landlord was very accommodating, very understanding about my reduced income, and let us stay on regardless. And we were making just enough to pay the rent anyway, so he was okay with it. He just didn't want us to be in a situation where we were unable to make it ourselves. It was very nice, let us stay, despite what my credit record looked like with no income for the previous few months. Yes, it really is. We've been together nearly 4 years now. It'll be 4 years in May. She's stuck by me even in the toughest of times, and I don't think I could ask for anyone better. We actually met at FanCon. We were selling stuff in Artist Alley. We had tables next to each other. I was selling my comics. She was dressed as Doctor Strange because she's a cosplayer. And we got to talking. I helped her carry her stuff down on day 3. Helped her carry it to the car. And a week later was Free Comic Book Day, and it was our first date. Okay, come on back. Hey, there we go. Okay, we disconnected for a minute there, but I think we're back again. Yeah, I don't know if it's this Windows update or what. I don't know what is going on, but it gets better than nothing. Might as well stick with it. I won't blame you if you want, you'd rather switch over to something else if this is a bit too inconsistent. I'm just gonna hang out and finish this at the very least. I figured it might have been late where you were. I know I'm streaming it in the afternoon here, but it's got to be like past midnight around your side. But yeah, flip man, don't stay up on my account. Seriously, some sleep. VODs will be on YouTube tomorrow. So look for it. Awesome. You have a good night, man. Sleep well. See you around. Always good to catch up. I've got 6 panels done. Gotta stretch for a second. Oh. Just hold that. Here. Last panel in frame. See on. Ooh, okay. Some more stretches. There you go. Lots of clicking going on. Don't know if the mic picked that up. Yeah. That's okay. Don't need the reference anymore. Thinking about when I want to eat tonight again. Stick with mac and cheese, I wonder. I see someone's popped in on Periscope. Please feel free to say hi. I think Periscope chat works with Restream. Nope, now they're gone. Why is everyone on Twitter and Periscope so shy? Please speak. Wish to hear your voices. At least see your words. I don't know. Close up on the eyes or close up on the mouth? I was thinking the eyes at first, but I'm starting to wonder if it should be on the mouth rather. I don't know. With eyes for now. Just to... Good. Try with the mouth rather. With my eraser gun. Revise this. This is why I go for the 200 GSM paper when I do stuff like this. Completely change my mind about a panel and have to erase the whole thing. Here we go. All that. We're gonna do mouth. I'm gonna look up some reference to help me with this. Please don't let everything crash when I do it. I've got too many of these teeth sticking out on the side here. Those would be tiny. Let's go. Bloody smash.
I don't know what y'all think, but I think that's pretty.
Fear the nose of the god of chaos. Trust me, it will be suitably dramatic once it's inked and shaded and dialogue is included and all that stuff. Okay, well, now we've got all the panels laid out, basically. We go and do some tightening up, some shading. then we'll see. Was it nearly 5 o'clock? Okay. Yeah, I could go for at least another half hour, I think. Welcome back.
You guys are so good at that.
Like I say, I'm probably going to be here for maybe another half hour, maybe another full hour. Last time I said half an hour, I was on for another hour. Yeah, I'm gonna tighten up some of these pencil lines. I'm gonna do some more shading, and maybe leave it at that. Whatever the other stream is, I'm sure it's a lot more interesting than this. So you, Michaela told me about that. Maybe. You'll have to send me the link again. I haven't checked them out yet. Just salmon rice. You make a note of that so I don't forget. Yeah, maybe I'll hop on there after I'm done. Let's see what I'm up to. Yeah, like it. I was just gonna say, I'm sure he's a lot more active in what he's doing. So if you want to focus on him more and just happen to glance over here every now and then, Okay, we're back. We're back. Yes, thank you. Thank you for saying it's looking good. Even as my stream sputters and dies. Think so? I mean, I don't know how much there's in terms of detail, but certainly trying to render as much as I can. Because I'm sort of going by the old adage that if you can't put detail in, render the hell out of it. It is some, but you talk about detail. I am striving to do more detail where possible because it's something I've criticized myself a lot in the past. Is that I don't usually do a lot of high detailed stuff. So I'm making an effort to try and do more detailed stuff. Don't want to look lazy. Something I want to do, well, especially now that I might get the desktop set up again. I'll try bring in that new graphics card tomorrow. Thank you again for that, by the way. I'll probably try and put it in tomorrow because I need something with a disk drive. I have some like instructional books on digital coloring. I had for ages, but you think I bothered to actually do anything with them? I'm gonna want to crack one of those out because they come with CDs with files and things on them that make for good coloring practice and instructional videos and things like that. So I want to try cracking those out again. Maybe actually learn from time because my digital coloring's not bad, but it still tends to be a bit flat. So I want to try and improve on that next. But then I'll need a computer with a disk drive because my laptop does not have a disk drive. A bit of an oversight when we got it. Yeah, same with me. Coloring very hit or miss. And even when it's a hit, it tends to be very simplistic. Like, much beyond black colors and maybe a little bit of cel shading, but it rarely looks as good as some of the other artists I've seen out there. I really want to. Just, it's a matter of sitting down and actually putting the work in. It's, again, something I'm trying to improve on. I've always been rather lazy about such things. Oh, well. Bit of a opposite. Oh. I'm starting to run out of steam a little bit, and I'm going to finish the penciling on this page before I stop streaming. And probably won't get around to inking just yet. I will. But I want to finish the penciling on that first before I stop. Patty joining us from Periscope. How are you doing? And thank you. Glad this is looking awesome. Maggie? Ada? Yay, disconnect and come back to spam box. You, good luck. Good luck. You bucket to block. Turn my fan off a bit. I don't want to catch it cold. Thank you, Joe, for joining us on Periscope there. Very much appreciated. Well, if it's any consolation, my stream has dropped at least 3 times, so it might not all be on your side. Ah, a new follower on Twitter. That's cool. I can. It's us. Free Excalibur on Twitter for the follow. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey Deanne, how you doing? Thank you very much. I don't know, Maggie. I do not know. 0 about. Oh dear, be frozen again. Saying my encoding is too high. Do this and yeah, the video's jerking a little bit here. I think it's saying my encoding is too high. But if I turn it down, then it's gonna be low quality to see anything. Alright, I will try and have technical issues sorted out by the time the next stream happens. Whenever that will be. Investigate. I'll investigate it. Maybe. That could be. But I think it's I think it's as much to do with my recording software as it is with the actual streaming sites. Okay, only one panel left. Nearly done. Hang in there, we're almost done. We are almost done. Yeah, sorry, sorry, I took a moment to answer your question. Yes, I do layouts. Actually answered this question earlier. I think you were away, but yeah, I do storyboards before I like here. These are the storyboards for splits for his story. And I did some rough layouts for this one as well. I haven't dropped them on the floor. Here's some of the layouts that I did for for the first page. I don't have the full layouts for all 12 pages of this particular story yet, but I will be doing them as I go along. Still sort of haven't really planned much past the prologue here. I sort of know what happens here in the prologue, and I sort of know how the 12 pages will end, like what the last couple of pages will be, but everything in between is still kind of nebulous. So we'll see. Hang on. Nope. I got my phone disconnected for a second. And we're back. Okay. Well, I think I'm just about done. If there's any more major detail that needs to go into this page, good. Yeah, so I'd say a fairly productive stream, despite the constant drops. But yeah, I think, like I said, it's just my computer playing up. There's probably a Windows up thing that's got a lot to download or something. So we're just gonna zoom out again. Here we go. There it is. There's the full page. Results of stream. The follow-on from the page from last stream, which I think I've dropped somewhere. It's down there somewhere. But yeah, so here we go. This will be the page of exposition where we find out all about what Set's plan was as he taunts his brothers and sisters. And then the third page is going to be sort of the rounding out of the prologue. So they lock him away, and we get some hint as to what happened in the future. And then page 4 will like immediately cut to that future, and we'll see our hero Isis in action. Okay, well, I do know how updates can be. It's crossed that it doesn't mess us up too much. Anyway, yeah, I think that I'm going to call the stream there. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Color of Buckcape and Omni Dragon especially for hanging out with me. And I'm going to go take a bit of a break. Maybe I'll check out Hammond Thrice's stream in a moment. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. For now.